It's been 10 years since Frank and Chris maintained these rural streets of Mingus. Although it's home to only 248 souls, one can always find excitement in the handful of watering holes that we have here. Frank and Chris certainly found that to be the case. However, it was their weekly adventures in highway preservation that brought about most thrills, and a TV show to boot. As you can see, the signpost now reads, "Back to the streets." That's right, folks. After being gone for over a decade, Frank and Chris have returned. They may not be as fresh-faced as we remember. Maybe they've added a little gray. Time will do that to you. Maybe they've lost a little on top and continue to do so. But the fact is, we miss Frank and Chris on Wednesday nights. And from the looks of things, Mingus has missed them too. In the late 1990s, Out in the Street was a low-budget TV show that chronicled the duo's weekly misadventures on the streets of Mingus. They had a lot of fun too. There were many thrills and many spills. I can recall at least 3 lost appendages, but only 1 scrotum surgery. It seemed like Frank and Chris encountered a new obstacle every week, and some distractions too. But doggone it, the streets of Mingus had never looked better. Every week, viewers tuned in not only to learn something new, but also to see what predicament they might get themselves into.
Pick it up and plug it in.
This good old boy humor mixed with frequent displays of hardcore violence provided a comedic variety that everyone could enjoy. Even young kids wanted to grow up to be maintenance men.
Trick or treat.
Oh, you're so cute. Who are you guys supposed to be?
I Frank. I Chris.
One for you. Here you go.
The fun lasted for years, until one day, Out in the Street just went away. In an ironic twist, Frank went on to teach a college course called Safety Practices in Municipal Settings, while Chris parlayed his celebrity to book wedding gigs. I heard he was an easily distractible videographer. And for almost a decade, that's all anyone ever heard of Frank and Chris. That was until 2009, when the indie sci-fi thriller Killer Schoolgirls from Outer Space began filming. And guess who appeared on screen for the first time in years? Since they hadn't appeared on camera in quite some time, they may have been a little rusty.
We need Frank on set. Where the f***'s Frank? Has anybody seen him?
But let's face it, Frank and Chris were never really actors in the first place.
Sorry, Bill.
Their cameo in the film made them realize who they really are and who they've always been. And so, after many years away, Frank and Chris decided to come back home.
Hey, Frank? Yeah, Chris? We got work to do. Yes, sir. Hey, Chris. How about we go get us a cold beer first? Okay.
Well, they come from Mingus, Texas. Mama raised them right. Do the best to work real hard and keep the city shining bright. Patching roads, having fun, working and riding around, making Mingus look the best this looks since they left town. We're heading back to the streets, potholes filling people to me. Back to the streets, picking up trash, pruning trees. Back to the streets, back to the street. Don't you worry about it, Frank and Chris are on their way. Shovels in their hand and they're gonna save the day. Might not do the best job, but it's probably not the worst. Sooner or later they'll get it done if they don't die doing it first. We're heading back to the streets, potholes to fill and people to meet. Back to the street, picking up trash, pruning trees. Back to the streets, back to the streets. Well, 10 years is a long time, and things hadn't gone so smooth. But they're back where they belong now with their nothing left to lose. Gather friends and neighbors, it's coming around the bend. Heading back to the streets with Frank and Chris again. We're heading back to the streets, potholes to fill and people to meet. Back to the street, picking up trash, pruning trees. Back to the streets, back to the streets. Back to the streets, back to the streets, back to the streets, back to the streets.
There you go, sir. Happy trails.
Who are you guys and what are y'all doing here?
I'm Chris. And I'm Frank. And we're taking you back to the streets.
On the next episode, our highway heroes find it difficult to enforce city ordinances. And then later, Frank's blunder puts the duo in a potentially dangerous situation.
You yelled at me.
I'm sorry I got angry, but I just can't wrap my mind around it. I mean, this is the worst place we could have possibly broke down.
Could this next episode be their last?
What? Oh, what are we gonna do? Call Daddy. I already tried to call Daddy. He didn't answer the phone. We're gonna have to get out and push.
Now you're gonna have to drop the camera and come help us push.
Tune in to find out.